Now, what I'm going to tell you should not be used to discriminate, okay? But the reason why in the past villagers would see someone that was born with a birthmark as a mark of the beast is because something happens to kids when they have a visible birthmark. Now, don't discriminate against everybody, okay, who has a visible birthmark, okay, anywhere on their body, like, again, visible, like around normal clothing. So neck, face, wherever, okay, arm, okay, and so unless the parents are really, really supportive and teach the child how to defend themselves and how to really find accepting friends and things like that, if the kid is left to defend themselves, other kids can be very, very mean, okay, and so they'll point and they'll say nasty things, say it's a disease and whatever else. Kids can be cruel. So my mother has an arm birthmark, okay? And she told me, she would tell me about how mean the kids used to be, okay? And they'd point and say, what's that? What do you have? Is it a rash? Is it a disease? Whatever else. So she would touch it with her right, or with her other hand, and then touch other kids and say, now you have it. Do you understand? And so she would mess. So is that lying? Yes, that's lying. That's a lie that a kid would tell. Do you understand? In order to protect their own selves, to not be emotionally hurt all the time or harassed or bullied. So sometimes people who have natural now, way back, people will be afraid because the folklore in villages is that a person that's born with a birthmark like that will learn to lie so well from a young age in order to protect themselves that lies become reality. And they become very, very good at it in order to protect their own selves, their own emotions, because people will be so cruel. So to a person who has a visible birthmark and sticks out like that, it's either get really, really depressed, okay, and feel picked on, or do whatever you have to do in order to protect yourself. And they figure, since people are so blatantly mean to them, pointing at them, being like, you're different, and nasty, and singling them out, they figure, hey, it's just as fair. You're going to be nasty with me, little kids. If you're a little child, you're going to be nasty with me, then I'm going to lie to be nasty too. Do you understand? To protect. So then sometimes the people with the visible birthmarks can carry that behavior. They're natural born people with narcissistic personality disorder in order to protect themselves, and then they become adults that naturally have no qualms about lying to other adults in order to get their way or to protect themselves, because it's so hardwired from when they were younger to kill or be killed, so to speak. Do you understand? Kill or be killed and to protect themselves. Okay, so that's the nature. And my mother's family wasn't too accepting, do you understand? Because she was the one that the neighbors would talk about, the one with the birthmark, do you understand? They were very much like community suburbanites. They were in Queens at first, and then they were community suburbanites. And so, my mother was forced to being a black sheep, do you understand? But that's where her narcissistic personality disorder is deeply rooted. And I think that, that's kind of the folklore behind the child born with a birthmark, mark of the beast kind of thing. You're going to have a natural orchestrating, lying individual from the beginning. God made them that way, and they can literally, wreak so much orchestrational, gossipy, lying havoc on a town. That's where that kind of thing comes from, okay? So that's some background. When I'm not just finger pointing at my mother, when that occurred to me, okay, what would cause my mother, what would be the traumatic experience that would cause my mother to, start having narcissistic personality disorder habits, and then why would she continue into the future? So that what sucks is that I had to really salvage my past and remember only the good stuff, because when you realize, it's like a relationship. Somebody was saying this about a relationship. Like, let's say you're with somebody for 10 years and then you find out they were cheating for 8. okay, then how much of the relationship was lies? Do you understand? Then 8 years of your life, anything could have happened. Anything that came out of their mouths could have been untrue. It's almost surreal. Do you understand? It's almost surreal. So you don't know what to believe. And you don't go, oh no, I don't know. It doesn't make you shaken up. You're just like, well, that went to junk. For the past 8 years, I don't know what to believe. Do you understand? I was in La La Land limbo, and I don't feel stupid, but now that I know so-and-so was cheating on me for 8 years out of 10 years, I don't know what's real or not. Do you understand? I have some good memories. I have some good learning experience, but I don't know what's real. So with a person, like with my childhood, as far as my mother and stepfather, their backgrounds and the way they are as people, I don't know what to believe from them. Do you understand? So that's part of my kind of rebirth process when, accepting Christ and really saying, they're really, in some ways, they're not really godly people, and realizing that that's okay. I can, it wasn't a scrap everything. I wasn't like some lost soul. I learned a lot from my background. I learned a lot of skills from my mother, stepfather, father. Do you understand? But as far as a real grounded reality, I have to accept the fact that a lot of things, in order to, get back at my father, my mother must have been telling me lies to get to my father. You understand? I'm over this stuff. I'm not up at night thinking about this garbage. I got new chapters, folks. You understand? I have my emotional and confidence foundation, and I'm on to new chapters, obviously. Do you understand? Because once you become soldier-esque, that's all you really care about, is operating that way. Do you understand? You don't contemplate much. Do you understand? Once you're locked in and some things are second nature, you don't contemplate much anymore. Do you understand? You may observe things in order to take action, but you don't contemplate much anymore. Do you understand? And that's where I'm at. It's a good place to be. You understand? It's sharp. It's when you're sharp. Okay? But as far as the past goes, I don't know. Who knows the stories that my mother and stepfather would tell to me, you understand? Now, I really seriously consider that, Before you put a public vote on it, think about your family. Like, you're a family, nobody's ever told you lies about grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles. No one's ever told you lies. Your mother, your father never told you lies. Your brother, your sister never told you lies. Never. Then you can't publicly vote on what my past must have been like, okay? Did you hear what I said? You can't publicly vote and assume, okay, from the surface what my past must have been like, okay? It's just like me assuming I know everything about you from what I can look at. You understand? I don't know squat. You understand? All I know is how you're acting. That's it. That's all I know is people's behavior on the spot. And I can know some things that people reveal, okay, via online means. Do you understand? And that's it.